People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in. Different surroundings, so forgive me for the noise, but I'm just here. Really, it's a quick vid. I've got nothing really more to say. It's in relation to Paul Pogba and the racial abuse following the draw against Wolves. Obviously, he missed a penalty. Now, we've been in many times with many players, and there's players I haven't spoken about that have been victims of racism on social media. Will it ever change? No. Pogba should have scored, probably should have scored his penalty, probably should have let Rashford take it or whatever, but I don't know if Solskjaer told him to take the penalty all along. But regardless, it doesn't deem racist abuse. Like in the same way Tammy Abraham, he didn't have the best of games against Liverpool. It doesn't warrant racial abuse, and it's shocking. We know. I don't feel social media is ever going to change until it, like, there's a thingy here, B, apologies people. I don't think social media is ever going to change because of the anonymous nature of it and things like that, unless it became a thing where, and I actually don't want the internet to become a Big Brother society in that somebody knows exactly when you've turned on the computer, they know who you are and whatever, because you got to think about it, people. All of us have had Facebook accounts, all of us buy stuff online. Data is a big business, but obviously the GDPR or whatever it is, change the laws around cookies, but you just think of the favorite websites you go on and the tweets you tweet and everything you save. There's probably a database of every characteristic about yourself that is because of what you put out on social media. Would I want to necessarily add to that? I'm not too sure, and again, it helps them monitor us and things like that, because you imagine if you had to sign up on social media with like a passport or a driving license and whatnot, people, they know who you are. Let's just say online I bought 3 coffees, people. Like I have a pattern of buying coffees at a certain time of day. Then you're still going to start getting advertisements and things like that, and all sorts of junk mail and all sorts of offers tailored towards that. It'll be good for brands, it'll be poor for us. But because of the cowardly nature of social media, I do believe that's the only thing that's going to change people. Again, if it's not that, there has to be something, because in the same way you can't really ban fans from being from racially abused. You can't ban fans from stadiums, really and truly. Yes, their face goes up, but what's actually, I've spoken with stewards and things, there's actually nothing that stops you. Unless you're a high-profile, well-known idiot, you can walk into the same stadium they said you got banned, people. What's stopping you? You can even wear a disguise and whatnot. Social media is mad, because most of these people that were racially abusing Pogba and calling him the N-word and monkey and God knows what other nonsense, they're the first ones to ask for a picture and whatnot. It's disgraceful. It is disgraceful. Like I said, the online, all that online stuff, it gives a platform to cowards and whatnot. It's nice to see Man United have condemned it. You obviously see not United, but the same old slogans that come out on Twitter, say no to racism, etc. I don't know how it changes people, but it's got to change people, man. It's sad that cowards can go out there, racially abuse someone, just tear someone down and get out of there, because obviously Pogba can probably ignore it. It's sad to say, but he's probably used to it. He's probably dealt with it in the physical as well. But what if that's just, I don't know, a lesser profile celebrity or the average Joe and whatnot? Because I'm sure you all see just general social abuse. Like, I even look at my Twitter and whatnot. Sometimes I'll have an opinion or a video and whatnot, bring out a video and whatnot, and there's a lot of love, but sometimes you see little comments of the N-word and all the other nonsense, and I'll brush it off because I know none of these people will say it to my face, because I'll knock their blocks off. But it is what it is, and that's the platform it gives people, and I think something really needs to change in that. I don't know what, I don't know how Facebook and Twitter and all these other social media people clamp down on it, because there have been some examples of trolls being found and outed. I personally believe trolls should be outed and whatnot, and their not personal information, but personal information put out there, because that's the only way you will stop people. Imagine that. I know how it feels to get punched in the face, innit? And I'm sure a lot of you do. So you don't talk crud and carry on a certain sort of way and do things to people that you don't want to. But there's yous that haven't, and they use the platform as something else. At least if they're outed and you know who it is, you're going to be easy. Because think about it, people. As much as I don't want a Big Brother society, if you was a troll tweeting racial nonsense and somebody knew you lived at 46 Joe Bloggs Avenue and they knew specifically where you was tweeting from, you wouldn't chat shit, would you, people? Apologies for my language, you wouldn't, because someone's gonna kick down your door or smack you up when they see you way outside. What was it? I swear there was a box on GMTV. You went and found the troll and confronted him. Now, I don't advocate that, because people might lose their lives and there could be fake trolls, or someone that was told that they're trolling wasn't actually trolling, and obviously the vigilante thing, you need to be very careful of it. But unless trolls are outed and people find out where they specifically work, who they specifically are, how's it going to change people? Because the internet gives a platform to cowards. You've seen it with Pogba, you've seen it with Tammy Abraham, you've seen it with Iwobi. I'm sure every minority player can go through their DMs and they're called all sorts by people that will either ask for a picture or don't have the guts to say this nonsense in people's faces. I could sit here and say racism is bad and all of these things that you guys know already. It is what it is, people. Something needs to change, but it's not going to change. It's just going to be more of the same, man. All I can say is Paul Pogba, keep your head high, because he has dealt with monkey chants in the physical, so I don't think he's... Apologies, people. 1 sec. Oh, sorry, I thought the thing cut out. Apologies. I don't think the verbal abuse or the social media abuse is going to affecting people, because you learn to ignore it. Like, again, I'm not the profile of these footballers, but I've learned to ignore it. For instance, I don't check my social media in the morning, people. I remember one time, it's funny, you can find it a bit humorous, but it's not. I checked my social media and I heard, what's this effing idiot, this effing M-word and idiot and whatnot, and it rattles you, people. It can spoil your whole day. Imagine seeing that at 6 a.m. You've just woke up, not even brushed your teeth, you check your comments, and you're seeing this sort of thing. On one hand, we have to deal with the idiotic comments and the trolls and whatnot, but there's no excuse for racism. And again, the longer these clowns have a platform to hide behind, the longer it's going to continue, people. It's sad. I don't even want to say get used to it, but players have to get used to it unless something changes, unless social media platforms really clamp down on this, which you hear they are, but you don't really see it. Or unless people are outing people who know if you know who's doing this troll thing, or you know people that hack stuff, if they hack troll accounts and find out what's what, then certain things can happen and certain people will change. But again, that could potentially lead to someone losing their life, people, because I can't just in my era, I came off of MySpace and Facebook. I've seen people post stuff on Facebook and it's got them punched up. People, I come from a generation, people have lost their lives over Facebook, you know. People are sitting in jail over Facebook and comments are on it and whatnot. So if you're on that sort of thing, or just in general, you know, don't talk crap to people. But I feel Twitter... What does that mean? I like Twitter how it's an open platform, but I can tweet something like, I like oranges. Some be like, oh, how can you like oranges when there's apples, you effing idiot, and whatnot, and carry on any sort of way. I like that it's not blocked off, but unless you've got a private account, it's not really segregated and whatnot, people. Obviously, the one saving grace I would say is that probably Pogba and Rashford and all the other ethnic minority players, they're probably not managing their Twitter account, so it's not right, but they're probably not directly seeing it. But they probably by the same logic are, because I'm sure they've got the same social media on their phone and they tweet and they Facebook and Snapchat and all of these sort of things. It's an absolute disgrace. Like, nobody should be on the victim of racism regardless of the skin colour you are. I keep saying it. Judge man, woman on their principles, the values they keep, first and foremost their morals, how they hold themselves and how they treat other people, how they treat people that have nothing to offer them. That's how you judge people. But we live in a world where people want to be better than everybody because of skin colour, race, religion, social class, any sort of other crap it's human nature, I guess, to want to put people above each other, but it's wrong, people. And like I said, social media gives a platform to clowns. So Pogba, keep your head up. It's going to be more of the same. He's been abused now, he's going to get abused again, and a lot of other players are going to get it, people. And racism is completely different, people, to sexual preferences and things like that. But could you imagine if you hear talk of there's a gay footballer that wants to come out of things? Could you imagine if he came out, people? Could you imagine if there was a gay footballer playing week in, week out in the Premier League? The sort of nonsense that will be shouted in the terraces, and also the social media platform. So again, I don't like to mix race and sexual preference, because I believe they're two different things, but certain things can't happen until it changes. Like I said, for me, it's got to be a thing where, again, I don't want it to be Big Brother society, but at least if everybody knew who was tweeting stuff, there's only a handful of people in this world that will still be racist with their chest, or still say stuff with their chest if somebody knew exactly where they're tweeting that from. Because realistically, that's what these cowards are. You remove this cloak from these cowards and what gives them strength and hiding behind stuff, and they've got nothing, people. They've got absolutely nothing. It's ridiculous. You've seen, the worst one I used to see is Lukaku, man. It's ridiculous and it's completely irrelevant, but you just go through almost every black female celebrity or influencer, go through their replies. It's completely different, but go through their replies and mentions. There's people comparing them to footballers and monkeys and all of these things. The best advice I can say is just ignore it, just develop thick skin and just air it, because there's nothing you can do. You'll go crazy trying to find these people, because I have as well. There was one youth that said something to me on Twitter, and I looked at his account and he looks like an inbred people, so I thought, you know what, let me leave this youth, because I'll smack him up, you know, like I said. Not to talk crud, I'm a good guy, but I don't believe in this verbal thing and stuff. Anything I say to someone, not talking about this clown stuff we talk about in the vid, anything I say online personally, I'll say, people that know me, I'll say it to people's chests, I'll say it. But that's that, like I said, and I'm sure you will as well, but that's a minority, people. Majority of these clowns that are carrying on, they're not going to say N-words and all of these things in the person because they know their block will get knocked off, and they also don't have the courage. And more time, they're probably Pogba's biggest fans asking for a picture and all this nonsense. They see it as a game. I don't even want to just say it's teenagers and little kids, because it's not. I've seen examples of it being big 38-year-old men with jobs and kids and families and whatnot. I don't feel anything is going to change people, but it is what it is, man. Pogba, who's the relevant videos this video is about, keep your head high. Tammy Abraham, who's been suffering for the same similar things, and any other player really and truly, because there's bare examples at all levels, people, all levels, and nothing's going to change people. It is what it is. I want something to give. Personally, I don't have the answers, but I know this whole slogan stuff and whole we condemn this and all fancy statements from football clubs, I know that ain't going to change nothing, people. I'm not criticising the clubs, I've just been seeing the same things, and how the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So it is what it is, man. It's a rather depressing vid, but I'm gonna wrap it up, people. I need to go and do the work errands before the shop closes and I lose my job. But on that note, people, thank you for watching and rocking. DG.